No kings. A declaration of independence against the tyranny.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so this No Kings rally is underway, and of course it's being sold as some historic grassroots moment of resistance, a righteous uprising to save democracy from tyranny. But obviously that's not what it is. No, it's a total clown show. And now we've got some more evidence, which continues to paint this as fundamentally unserious. We got some leaks here from inside the organization showing some of the talking points being passed down to some of the participants. And holy moly, is it cringe. Another empty left-wing theater production, right? Pre-packaged pathetic slogans, more cringe theater kid nonsense, just like the Women's March with their pussy hat cosplay, more left-wing performance art, chanting cringe, vapid slogans, more left-wing NPC programming, that's all it is. Let me show you guys the documents that are being passed around. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so this hashtag No Kings memo, I gotta tell you, is pure comedy. Here's some of the stuff that's circulating online. We're talking literally kindergarten level scripts for basic NPC bots to chant. Democracy is what we need, oh the power grab has got to go. Healthcare is a human right, ho ho. Hey hey ho ho, Elon Musk has got to go, remember that one? Reminds me of that funny video outside the Portland Ice facility, where that one base dude was mocking those Antifa weirdos.
Stolen people, stolen land, stolen people, stolen land.
Oh, and I'd also like to add that the same activist groups that are constantly pointing their finger at Trump supporters saying, you people are stupid and uneducated, well, in their pathetic chants here, they can't even spell your properly. Trump, you are kingdom must come down. What kingdom? It's just a bunch of out-of-touch nonsense. And of course, these aren't arguments, these aren't ideas, these are political hallmark slogans. This is the stuff for people who don't read past the headline, people who cannot critically think and just formulate political opinions based on whatever the septum ring weirdos on TikTok are saying. And that's why it's always the same crowd, the same coalition of brain-dead college communists and the boomer wine moms. Well, here they come again to protest the billionaires, or I don't know, something. Because the billionaires and the fascisms and, the billionaires' fascisms. It's just an idiotic worldview, not grounded in fact, but grounded rather in stupid fake grievances and nonsense vapid slogans. These people are not fighting fascism, but we are fighting something. We are fighting outright stupidity, I'll tell you that much. And actually just speaking to the fact that there's no actual fascist threat and this whole thing's a LARP, what really exposes the lack of seriousness here is the latest leftist protest trend here, the costumes. Of course, we all know about the, the anti-fascist frog from the streets of Portland. Well, that's now become a trend, right? And apparently a bunch of these leftoids are now planning to show up to this No Kings rally dressed in the most ridiculous attire that you could possibly muster. Let's be silly for hashtag No Kings. Yeah, nothing says fighting fascism, fighting a serious fight against an authoritarian dictator, like being silly in inflatable frog suits and banana costumes. Ooh, I'm dressing up as a unicorn. What is it, Halloween? Or anti-fascist resistance? Nothing says fighting fascism like the furry brigade. Oh, get silly for hashtag No Kings. These people are literally staging a clown protest. It's a clown show. And they expect us to take them seriously as if they're defending democracy. What legitimate resistance movement in world history fought tyranny by dressing up as a fruit? Ooh, I'm a pineapple fighting Adolf Hitler. Yeah, clearly there was no banana pineapple resistance against Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich, because real resistance happens under real oppression. And these people are not oppressed. They're bored. They're a bunch of privileged, do-nothing, useless members of society who watch too much cable news. And that's really the biggest problem I think Democrats have. They're just incredibly inauthentic, and I think most people with working brains can see it. Just look at Gavin Newsom, for instance. This guy keeps taking to the podium in a clear attempt to obviously brand himself as the leader of the Democrat resistance. But it's so obvious every time this guy speaks, it's nothing but fake moral outrage. He's acting. He's the California Hollywood Democrat.
No kings. A declaration of independence against the tyranny, against lawlessness in the context that there was no rule of law. It was the rule of king. And I think increasingly people are waking up to the rule of law in this country, increasingly appearing to be the rule of dawn. And I hope it's dawning on people how precious this moment is and what's at stake. And so I hope people put a stake in the ground, take the opportunity and time to participate this weekend, but again, do so peacefully with a deep realization of the consequences and what the founding fathers were all about.
Oh, there's Gavin Newsom, the leader of these banana pineapple freedom fighters. Here he is lecturing us about the lawlessness of this administration. Ooh, the authoritarian power. Again, as if we're supposed to take him serious, when he and his party are obviously the biggest hypocrites on planet Earth. Authoritarian power, says the party that abused the legal system to attempt to jail their political opponent in the last election, and he lectures us on lawlessness when he's part of the party that's actively protecting criminal mobs, shielding cartel-tied illegal aliens, blocking ICE agents from arresting violent offenders. These people don't oppose lawlessness. They are lawlessness. They depend on lawlessness. That's how they move their political agenda. These people are the biggest hypocrite dipshits on planet Earth. And now here they are screeching about no kings, no kings. Ooh, no kings, abuse of power, lawlessness. While they're actively on a daily basis using their rogue judges trying to overthrow constitutional presidential powers in court. They scream that Trump is a dictator, while judges and governors defy federal law and openly sabotage federal authority. They scream democracy, while again in the last election they tried to jail their political opponent. They chant no fascism. Fascism has no place here. They're the party that commandeered social media platforms to silence right-wing political dissent. Hypocrites. There has never been a political movement so emotionally unstable and so intellectually dishonest. It's absolutely baffling that it's a political movement at all. It's baffling that people are dumb enough to fall for this stuff, to see, ooh, the naked people riding bikes on the streets. Ooh, the 90-pound soaking wet, pink-haired, black-clad Antifa resistance on the streets of Portland. Ooh, the people dressed up as pineapples and bananas and frogs, led by their commander, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, that's the side that I want to be on. It's unbelievable. It's a group of directionless, miserable, useless people who are cosplaying, theater kids, and there's just no substance there. These are people who clearly mistake moral theatrics for courage. There is no monarchy. Donald Trump is no king. There is no dictatorship. There is no fascism. That does not exist. It's a script that is being fed to you. And if you are gullible enough to fall for this crap and to then be mobilized onto the streets for these corrupt people's political agenda to chant their stupid, misspelled slogans, well then I don't know. You might just be beyond help. I cannot help you. Maybe idiocracy is here. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.